Welcome back to Go With Us, and this is everything you really need to know this week in Pokemon Go, running from the 24th of November all the way until December 1st. As usual, let's get straight into our calendar now, and as you can see on Monday, do not forget it is going to be the ending of the Max Eevee Battle Weekend, which is actually ending on the 24th, I believe at 9 p.m. So it's pretty much your last day to get hold of some of those Eevees, especially those evolutions in terms of Dynamax Pokemon. We've actually just done a video that you guys are really enjoying right now about what Eevees you should really be going after. We will leave it as the end screen, but check out the card above me right now for that. Then do not forget every Monday morning at 9 a.m. we will be able to get our Adventure Sync rewards. Remember, if you walk 5 kilometers, you will get 20 Pokeballs. If you walk 25 kilometers, you're going to get the 20 Pokeballs plus 10 Great Balls, as well as 3,000 Stardust, as well as a 5-kilometer egg if you do have an egg slot open. But if you don't have an egg slot open, you will receive one of 3 rare candy or 3 silver pineapple berries. If you walk 50 kilometers, you're going to get the Great Balls, the Pokeballs, plus an additional 5 Ultra Balls, as well as 10,000 Stardust and a 10-kilometer egg if you do have an egg slot open. If you don't have an egg slot open, you will get 5 rare candy and 5 silver pineapples. And if you walked 100 kilometers in the previous week, you will be able to get the above rewards plus an additional 20,000 Stardust. If you guys are wondering what Pokemon will hatch from that 5-kilometer Adventure Sync egg, for example, you will see Ammonite, Kabuto, Elekid, Magby, and Skarmory. In the 10-kilometer Adventure Sync eggs, you will see Aerodactyl, Dredagon, and Tinkatink. And just because we're speaking about eggs, we did mention this last week, but remember, because we're in November, this is going to be your last week to hatch the following Pokemon before the whole new season changes over. In 2-kilometer eggs, you're going to see Squirtle, Mudkip, Bonsly, Happiny, as well as Larvesta. And 5-kilometer eggs, you're going to get Alolan Vulpix, Tyrogue, Mantike, as well as Larvesta again. In 7-kilometer eggs, we see a lot of the variant Pokemon. We see Galarian Meowth, Galarian Farfetch'd, Galarian Darumaka, Hisuian Quillfish, Galarian Corsola, Alolan Rattata, as well as Alolan Sandshrew. And don't forget about Mateo's 7-kilometer gift eggs as well. There's some great Pokemon in here. Galarian Corsola's in there, Galarian Ponyta, Hisuian Sneasel, Hisuian Voltorb, as well as White Stripe Basculin. All of those can be shiny. And in 10-kilometer eggs, we're going to see Larvitar, Sableye, Toxel, Tinkatink, Dreepy, Charcadet, Frigibax, as well as Larvesta again. And it doesn't end there on Monday. Back to our calendar, you can see from 6 to 7 p.m. that night, the Max Monday is going to be Dynamax Eevee. We just touched on it, and you must watch the video at the end to really understand which Eevees are the best going for, but I would say there are only about 3 or 4 really good ones. I would say Dynamax Glaceon is going to be a really good ice type attacker. Dmax Espeon is going to be one of your best psychic type attackers. Dynamax Jolteon could be a really good option as well because its attack value is pretty strong, but it is going to be beaten out by things like Zapdos as well as Raikou. However, the Eevee candy for Jolteon is going to be a lot easier to come by. And the last one we would definitely highlight is probably going to be Vaporeon, not from an attacking point of view, but Dmax Vaporeon is going to be a really good healer in the game just simply because its HP stat is really good. Try and get a good one with 15 defense and 15 HP. Then moving on to Tuesday the 25th, we have a big day coming up, and let's kick off with a raid. So it looks like in 5-star raids, we will be able to see Cobalion, Terrakion, as well as Virizion all the way until the 2nd of December. It's actually important to mention that the Swords of Justice right now are serving us really well in different categories. For example, Terrakion right now is currently the 4th best fighting type attacker in the game. Remember, you will need Sacred Sword in that Pokemon. I don't think these Pokemon are going to know Sacred Sword coming from these raids, but you will need an Elite Charge TM for that, and that's actually only behind the Mega Pokemon in that category as well. So Terrakion is an absolute must-get for the fighting type category. Virizion right now is currently only the 82nd best grass type attacker in the game, and it's the 38th best fighting type attacker in the game. Not very meta relevant on the raid attacking side, but in the Ultra League right now, it is actually in the 10th spot, which is absolutely incredible. You could maybe trade this Pokemon with a friend that's maybe not a best friend, so you could get low attack, high defense, high stamina to use it in the Ultra League. Could serve you incredibly well. And moving on to Cobalion now, again, as a steel type attacker as well as a fighting type attacker, not really that relevant. Terrakion's always going to be a better bet, especially in the fighting type category, but also in the Ultra League right now is currently ranked 25th with Sacred Sword, and the Master League is also ranked 83. Because of that steel and fighting typing, it can hit certain Pokemon really hard. Those Pokemon will be coming in at 10 a.m. on the Tuesday, and it doesn't stop there because coming into Mega Raids, we have a new rotation. We have Mega Garchomp coming in there, Mega Aerodactyl, as well as Mega Medicham. I like how they're throwing 3 Megas in 1 week now. It really gives us a good opportunity to get the Mega energy for these Pokemon, but let's start off with Mega Garchomp. Guys, this is one of the best Megas in the game, and if you just played the wild area, you may have got a hundo, which I did after years of searching, but now I can really get the Mega energy for it, especially if you didn't play a Mega Garchomp raid day. As a Dragon type attacker right now, it is the 3rd best Dragon type Pokemon in the entire game right now. As a Dragon type attacker, incredible, and in the Ground type category, it's taking the 2nd spot. This is my opinion, probably my favorite Mega, especially as an attacker. It's just so strong. It's an incredible shiny. If you do manage to get it, please go after the Mega Garchomp and get it to Mega level 3. Moving on to Mega Aerodactyl. It's currently the 5th best rock type attacker in the game, and even though it does share a flying typing, it actually does not know a flying type move. If it got something like Fly, for example, this Pokemon would easily break into the top 10. Maybe that could change in the future. And if we move on to Mega Medicham, unfortunately this Pokemon isn't very good as a raid attacker just simply because its stats are pretty low as well as its max CP. However, because it shares a fighting and psychic typing, you really want to get this Pokemon at Mega level 3, because when something like a Psychic Spectacular comes around, or you have another fighting type event, which we're about to touch on in a little bit, this is a great opportunity to try and get the candy as well as XL candy for whenever those events come around. Make sure all those Pokemon are at Mega level 3. Then the other thing that's starting on Tuesday at 10 AM is going to be our second to last event of the entire season, which is going to be the Final Justice event, which is going to be bringing around the debut of Resolute Form Keldeo. If you guys are wondering how to change Keldeo's form, effectively you're going to need 50 Keldeo candy, which of course you can maybe get from rare candy, but the way to do it is that at the end of the Tales of Transformation special research, the last part will be unlocked at the start of this event, and at the end you will pretty much get rewarded with Keldeo candy. You will be able to change to his Resolute form, which makes this a much stronger Pokemon, and the main reason why is because of its new move, which is going to be called Secret Sword. Not Sacred Sword, Secret Sword. This move is going to hit for 70 power in trainer battles, but it's going to hit 120 power in gyms and raids, which is actually 20 more power than Sacred Sword. Guys, that is absolutely incredible. I've had a look at this Pokemon, and from our research, Resolute Form Keldeo with this move is going to become the second best fighting type attacker in the entire game, above something like Mega Heracross, which is absolutely incredible, only falling just behind Mega Lucario. Guys, please do not sleep on this. You really want to try and get a good opportunity to get this Pokemon. More than that, a new Masterwork research will be released at the beginning of this event, which of course at the end of that long research you will be able to encounter Shiny Keldeo, which of course you would be able to change that Shiny Keldeo into the Shiny Resolute Form Keldeo as well. So if you want a good chance at getting better IVs, hopefully with 15 attack, this could serve you incredibly well if you really like Keldeo. The event bonuses that we're going to receive up to 2 free raid passes from spinning gym discs. The wild encounters are going to surround a lot of fighting type Pokemon. This is exactly what I was speaking about with Mega Medicham, for example. If you have this Pokemon or any other fighting type at Mega level 3, you really want to Mega Evolve this Pokemon during this event, because we're going to see the following. Things like Hitmonlee in the wild, Hitmonchan, Hitmontop, Hisuian Sneasel, Crabrawler. We're also going to get an increased chance to find Shiny Hitmonlee, Shiny Hitmonchan, as well as Shiny Hitmontop. And 1-star raids, we can see Machop, Timber, and Pancham. And 3-star raids, we have Galarian Farfetch'd, Throw, and Sock. We do have featured field research tasks going down. Galarian Farfetch'd will be in there. That Hundo CP is going to be 717, relatively easy to remember. We also have Hisuian Lilligant in there, which is pretty interesting, at a 1076 Hundo CP. Throw is going to be in there as well. That Hundo CP is going to be 1098. And Sock will be in there too, and that Hundo CP is going to be 1194. Do not sleep in that Hisuian Lilligant. It is a first stage evolution, which means it's going to grant you 300 Stardust per catch. Every single time you complete one of these field research encounters, throw it in your stack tasks, and I want you to catch this on a 3x catch Stardust community day with the star piece running. Instead of getting 300 Stardust per catch, you're now going to get over 1,000 because of the bonus as well as the star piece. An incredibly underrated task. This is what a lot of the pro guys do. There will be a themed collection challenge for all trainers, and their main rewards there are going to be some more XP, Stardust, as well as premium battle passes, which is pretty sick. Then that is not all on Tuesday, because do not forget about the Spotlight Hour from 6 to 7 p.m. local time, which is going to be featuring Scraggy. The bonus in that hour is going to be 2x catch XP. So if you're on your way to level 80 and you're trying to push, guys, remember that if you throw in a lucky egg, every single excellent throw, and on Scraggy, I think it's a pretty easy excellent throw as well, you will be able to get 4,000 XP per excellent throw. So great XP grind. But more than that, how good is Scraggy going into Scrafty in Pokemon Go right now? Well, let me just say, in the Go Battle League, for example, in the Great League, it's currently ranked 209, which is very solid. It has an interesting IV set in terms of the rank 1. You're going to want a 0815 there. In the Ultra League, though, it's actually performing even better with XL Candy. And again, another slightly strange combination, you will need a 91515 as your rank 1. But more importantly, guys, remember, because of Pokemon Legends ZA being released on the Nintendo Switch, it has been confirmed that Mega Scrafty will be coming to Pokemon Go at some point. So it's a great opportunity to try and go after that Hundo video, because in a Spotlight Hour, these Pokemon are going to be spawning everywhere, so it's a great chance to try and get that hundo. Then, moving on to Wednesday, the 26th, the only thing we really need to worry about there on Wednesday is going to be the raid hour again, from 6 to 7 p.m. local time that night, and you will be able to raid all 3 of the Swords of Justice, which is again going to be Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion. Then back to our calendar again, we've got 2 big events happening on the weekend as well. It's actually a really big week if you think about it. On the 29th, we have the start of Dynamax Lugia Max Battle Weekend, which is super sick. The max particle collection limit will be increased to 1600. It's going to be quarter walking distance to receive 300 particles. Normally you would have to walk 2 kilometers. Now we're only going to have to walk 500 meters. Power spots are going to refresh more frequently, about every half an hour, and if there will be a timed research rewarding us with max particles, an encounter with Dynamax Ghastly as well as Ghastly Candy. We will probably do a separate video of how to take this Pokemon down, but let me just say, guys, this is going to be a Dynamax battle, not a Gigantamax battle, so you will be able to have 4 people in a lobby. We've just had access to Gmax Grimmsnarl. You will definitely need to use something like Gmax Gengar. I actually think that Gmax Gengar is going to hit even slightly harder, and even something like Gmax Toxtricity as well as Gmax Lapras could help you from a tank as well as attacker point of view. But how good is Dynamax Lugia going to be? Unfortunately, as an attacker, it is actually going to be almost useless, to be honest, as an attacker, just simply because its attack stat is very low, but more importantly, it actually only has a dragon type fast move, which I think is Dragon Tail, and it has extra sensory. None of them are a half a second fast move, which is really hurting it, especially as a Dynamax Pokemon. But more than that as well, as a tank, if we just have a look at the defensive stats, I think its defensive stat right now is 310, and its HP is pretty high as well. So I think as a defender, this Pokemon could be used in certain niche scenarios. However, is it going to be one of the better Pokemon we use? Probably not, but let's see what happens. Then it doesn't end there. On Sunday the 30th, we actually have 2 things going on, but the first main thing is going to be Pikipek Community Day. This will be the last event of November, the last event of the season before December turns over. The main bonuses for this Community Day is that, of course, Pikipek will be spawning all over the wild for a total of 3 hours from 2 to 5 p.m. on that Sunday. It's going to be 3 times catch XP, which is a great opportunity for XP because Pikipek is an extremely easy excellent throw. Throwing those lucky eggs, you're going to get over 7,000 to 8,000 XP on an excellent throw. It's going to be 3-hour incense, 1-hour lure modules. It's going to be 2 times catch candy, 2 times a chance to receive XL candy. We can make 1 additional special trade on this day for a total of 3, but it may even be more because that day is also falling on trade Sundays. It could potentially stack, so we could even get 3 or 4 special trades on that day. Do not sleep on this. Trading Pokemon is one of the best pro tips I could give you. It's an incredible way, and we're going to leave some results on screen right now. Remember to trade your Pokemon and an extra chance of these Pokemon going lucky. So guys, you need to be trading on this specific Sunday. The featured Community Day move from Pikipek going into 2 cannon is going to be Beak Blast, which is actually going to be extremely powerful. In trainer battles, it's going to do 110, and in gyms and raids, it's going to do 125 power, which could actually make this Pokemon one of the better flying type attackers in the game, especially as a budget Pokemon, which is great. Pokestop showcases will feature Pikipek, and you can get premium rewards from winning those showcases. And if you do manage to find Pikipek in field research, that 100% IV is going to be 390 CP. Also, do not forget about your research breakthrough box, which will come from your 7-day stamps. The following Pokemon will come as a reward from there. You can get Alakazam in there. That Hundo CP is going to be 1310. That can be shiny. Aggron can be in there at 1285. That can also be shiny. Morpeko can be in there, which now will be able to be shiny because of the high voltage event at 832 CP. Dreepy will be available at 328 CP. Frigibax can be shiny at a 534 Hundo CP, and Sinistea will be in there as well, which can be shiny now because of the Halloween event at a 488 guaranteed Hundo CP. So guys, that is everything you really need to know this week in Pokemon Go. If you guys want to check out that Eevee video as well as the Final Justice video, we will leave it as the end screens. Please check out both of them. They're really going to help you out to really make sure you're not missing anything with both of those events. Love you guys. Go with us, and we'll catch us on the next one, baby.